Morning, everybody. I don't think it rained. Focus, you darn thing. That much. And that, I don't believe, is from rain. Is just from dew. She's a wet one this morning. And we have like no grass here. But you see that out there? It's starting to lift. It's not as foggy as it was. It was really, really foggy. Shop, house. You almost couldn't see the shop. It was so foggy. That post pounder is supposed to be returned by 9 a.m. It's 9 a.m. now, and I phoned them at 7:30 and I told them, I'm not coming in until this fog starts to lift. And they said, yeah, we were thinking about that this morning on the way into work. Probably wouldn't be the best thing to have somebody drive into the back end of me. And so now that the fog is starting to lift, people can see me from farther away. So we're gonna head into town. And it's this kind of stuff. It's fog, or these little piss ass light dust damper showers. I've said it before, I'll say it again. And that's why a bunch of our stuff is not baled yet. It's crazy. But anywho, so I guess it'll be another, one we gotta, here right away, we gotta grind some grain for them piggies. And whether that's gonna happen today or not, I can't answer that question. And I guess we can continue on with our fencing project. So I'm gonna let you guys go. We'll get this thing to town, back to Clark's Supply, and see what happens after that. Alrighty guys, well, we're on our way home, and I'm coming down the service road here by White City Emerald Park, North Service Road. Anyways, these things right here, so these are them, they're generally called rig mats, I believe, is what they call these bloody things. And I'm thinking that these friggin' things would be totally friggin' awesome to use in place of a fence line feed bunk system. Just set them down. They all kind of interlock into each other. What is this? Northern Mat and Bridge. I guess I know who to get a hold of. But anywho, you can kind of see how they're built. So this end that's sticking out on the bottom, it would literally fit into that end right there. And so they all interlock. And they look to be about, I don't know, roughly 6 inches thick. So I'm thinking something like that would work really nice in a fence line feed situation. The animals can stand on that versus being in the muck. And I'm gonna guess that they would be a lot cheaper to do this versus laying concrete down. So, especially in a super wet environment where the concrete could shift and then break, and yeah, you literally just throw those right on the ground and they're done, right? So I'm gonna have to get a hold of Northern Mat and Northern Rig and Mat or whatever, and see what the hell these, because they have new ones and used ones, and you can see this pile that we were just looking at, it's sold. So I'm assuming there's a whole bunch way back there. And they look quite used. They don't look to be in the greatest of condition. You probably pick these things up relatively cheap, is my guess. Like, even some of them are not in that great a condition. So I wouldn't want something that's all busted up and ready to fall apart. I would prefer something that's in somewhat decent condition. You don't want junk, because then the animals are trying to stand on that and it's got sticks sticking up, right? But basically that's what it would be like right there, for anybody that hasn't seen them. And I think they're about, I don't know, I want to say 12, maybe 14 feet long, 8 feet wide. They might even be 16 feet long by 8 feet. So, you know, you get 10 of those suckers, and you got yourself, at 16 feet, that's 160 feet to fence line feed. So I'm going to get a hold of Northern Rig and Mat and find out what they're worth. They probably have multiple different price tags. But anywho, I'll talk to you guys later. Alrighty guys, well, I thought I'd stop in here and check this stuff. See if we can bail. And well, what's this tell you? Like, there's no cracking at all. It's done nothing. Like, we got dust. See? Dirt, dust. But this stuff, it just does not want to dry at all. And there's really no point in even raking it when it's that wet. There isn't much on top. It's not doing anything. It's crazy. And if you look at the swath, see that? The second growth is coming up through the goddamn swath. It's not that it's that heavy of a swath, but it won't friggin' dry either. We haven't had any rain. It's just the humidity is too goddamn high. Simple. Okay, let's go check out that other hay that we cut in the next field over. See what that's like. Alrighty, so here, and this is where it's light, and this is the same thing. With that fog this morning, it really foiked it up. We won't be baling today. It's friggin' 12 o'clock already. Like, this is just sticks. I just did it so that I had two swaths, because we're gonna be raking. and we can rake 2 into 1, but it's doing absolutely nothing. It's just bleaching it out more on top. There's no point in even checking where it's heavy. Kind of sucks. I want to get this baling done so that when I get the phone call and they say come and do straw, I can just go hardcore and do straw. But I got to get this stuff baled up eventually. But they can't do any combining for straw either, because that cloud that went through yesterday, and it just barely missed us at my buddy's place, like 15 miles away. They got like 2-3 tenths of rain. So they're definitely not combining. And we had sun for a little while, and then now it's overcast and there's no sunshine. Fun, fun, fun. Let's get home and we'll go play with our fencing. Later.
Yeah, I was playing with your wire. It's not this big.
Oh, burn! Alrighty, guys. Well, since it's too wet to bale, I guess we'll play with our fence. And the CP's playing with the wire. You got that Goslin Farms t-shirt happening there.
Yeah.
Hey Ed, how's it going? Anyways, what are we doing? Well, I'm doing our bracing. So I cut a notch in the post. I'm using 4x4 dunnage. If anybody doesn't know what dunnage is, when you're hauling steel down the highway, you put this stuff on the deck of your trailer, and all the steel sits on that. It doesn't sit flat on the trailer. So I put a notch out. This post is going to get 3 notches because it's a 3-way brace. Going that way, and that way, and that way. And we got to run a wire from top to bottom all the way around. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We'll get our bracing done, and then we'll start running our wire going that way. Sweet. I'm not saying this is the best way to do it, but this is how we are doing it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty, guys. After monkeying around all afternoon building braces, and then had my repairman show up. That took some time because I needed to replace a couple of pins in the plug for the baler. So we got that done. Now we're back out here and we're running wire. And the top wire is a little high. But I look at it this way, if it stays that high, you see that? It's about 1.5 feet, 2 feet above the post. Maybe the deer won't jump over that one, come into the yard. Right?
So you're putting 6 strands then?
Sure, why not? 6-string fence
They'll still jump it.
on the hilltop.
They jump the freestanding panels. And they're pretty high.
They're 5'2".
Yeah. So they could jump over my head.
Yeah, you're 5 foot. Fuck all.
I'm 5'3". Come on.
5'3" and 3/16. Okay, 3/32.
Get out of here.
No, actually, because of the hill, that's why that wire is so high. It's pretty easy to pull down, but it will be tight once we get it all nailed up.
Do you want me to swing it towards the fence?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna get a stretcher on it and start tugging on it. Okay? Okay. Alrighty. No time like the present. There's what she's gonna look like. Now, if only my neighbors and lots of other people I know that are not neighbors would start building their fences like this.
we'll get this section done. Alrighty guys, well, that section going that way is all done. So on these Eastwig hammers, basically we're setting our wire 10 inches, 10 to 12. See that? 10. Eleven and a half. 11. That one's 10 and a half. But generally speaking, what we do when we're building our, especially with 4-wire, set the hammer. When you come in, first one is basically on my fat body. I could feel it right there, mid rib cage type of thing. On CP, it's just under her armpit. And then we go like that, approximately that point on the hammer. See that? That's how we measure for our staples, for where our wire placement. Anyway, we got one more wire to string going from our gateway going east. Ran out of wire, so CP went to get a roll of wire. So I'll start stapling some of this stuff off and la-di-da, right? Bring you back later. That's got her completed, boys and girls. The fence part is, for this part anyways, we got to build a gate. But my wife wants to buy a gate. She would prefer a steel gate over a wire gate. So you just fucked my tape measure.
No.
Yep. What are you here? What does that say? 26 feet. It's...
These aren't 30 feet tape measure?
No, they're not. You just fucked it.
I did not. Look.
The trick to a good fence. 1, good solid brace posts. Or strainer posts or starting posts. In our case, we're using 5 to 6 inch 8-footers. We just pound them in the ground. Doing H bracing. Maybe I'm not doing it 100% perfect the way some guys are going to say, but you know what? This is going to last a hell of a long time. So that's number 1. Good bracing, good posts, good starter posts, and ending posts. Good wire. We always try to get a 12 gauge wire. I don't buy that 14 or 15 gauge crap. It's not worth the money you spend on it. 2, always, and I stress this severely, always, 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 get 2-inch staples, and if you can, double barbed. And always, see that? Leave a little bit of space for the wire to slide back and forth with frost. If you're in cold weather area and the fence goes, frost will heave and move your posts. So that's 3 and 4. Take your time. If you don't know how to do it, there's lots of friggin' videos on YouTube to show you how to build a damn good fence. In fact, that lady right there my beautiful wife, CP, and myself, we've got a 4-part series on how to build a 4-wire fence yourself. And outside of me hitting the wire with friggin' Brushmore, we have never touched that fence, and it's been 5 years. So you can go check out that video. But yeah, when you got to deal with hills, you got a little bit of a knoll here. That hills make it a little trickier because you can't pull the wire super tight because you got to adjust your wire tension for the hill, obviously. So, but this project outside of the gate is done, and I think for right away I gets a feeling it's gonna be a wire gate. Yup.
I'll build it first.
What?
I'll build it first.
You're gonna build it first?
Yep.
1x1 square tubing 4-bar, 2
No.
pieces, 14 feet.
I'll put mesh in it so it doesn't have to be so heavy.
It'll be heavier because the mesh is heavier. A sheet of mesh is heavier than
No, it's
4
not.
pieces of 1x1.
No, it isn't.
Yep.
I don't need a full sheet of mesh. My cows don't push.
Okay. Anyway,
Okay, he's going.
until we get that gate issue rectified, this project is done. I might not be the fastest fence builder in the world, but in this neck of the world, right here at Qu'Appelle, there's a lot of people that could take some lessons. That's just my own personal opinion. Anyway, you guys have a good one. Talk to y'all later. Give us the old thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and fun. Let's get her done.